Hi everyone, and welcome to my first ever episode tutorial. So today I'm going to be showing you how to import a GIF into your episode story. So it's not the easiest thing to start with, so this is kind of weird because it's my first tutorial and I'm not starting with something easy like character placement. But yeah, I'm going to be showing you how to put a GIF in your story. This is something that I wanted to do for a long time because I think GIFs really add something very smooth and very realistic to a story. So that's why I wanted to find out how to use GIFs and then show you how to do it so other people can benefit from my experience. Also, just a heads up, I'm going to be using this GIF in my story warnings at the beginning of an episode, so it's not going to be directly in the story, but it's going to be incorporated into my, this story uses sounds and music warning that is at the beginning of every chapter. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up episode writer portal and the story in which you want to put a GIF. Then you're going to simply go onto the internet, whether it be Google or you can also use Tenor or Giphy. I personally just used Google to find this GIF, but anything is fine as long as you find the GIF that you want. So I just typed in a guitar GIF into my Google search bar and I found this GIF that I quite like, and I'm going to be using this GIF because I want to put it into my "this story uses sounds and music" warning that is at the beginning of every episode, so I just thought it fit this kind of warning really well. Once you found a GIF that you're happy with, you're just going to save it to your computer. So save it somewhere where you're sure that you're going to find it, and I would also suggest giving it a name that you're going to remember as well. So I just chose guitar GIF. I had already downloaded it before, so I just replaced it with this new version. And once you saved your GIF, you can close that tab because we won't be needing it anymore. So now you need to convert this GIF into Pngs because we're going to be using this GIF as an overlay and not as a background. So you can type into Google, save GIF frames as PNGs, something like that, and it's going to give you a lot of results. And I used this one, Convert GIF to PNG, online PNG tools, because I thought it was quite easy, and they also have a lot of different options on their website that you can use to save or modify GIFs, PNGs, etc. So I really suggest this website. I thought it was very useful. Okay, so now let's dive right in and click on import from file right here and import our GIF to this website. As you can see down here, it's going to automatically tell you how many frames there are in your GIF. So in my GIF, there are 13 frames. You can check each and every frame one after the other, which is what I suggest doing to make sure the GIF is well split into frames. So you can just enter the number 1 for your first frame, and as you can see, it's showing me on the right my first frame. If I put in number 2, it is now showing me my second frame. If I put number 3, it's going to show me my third frame, etc, etc. Alright, now it's time to download every frame as a PNG. To do so, we're going to take each frame one after the other and save it as a PNG. To do so, you only need to click on Save As right here on the right, and then click again on Download. I would suggest always checking in your downloads to make sure that it worked, because it can get quite messy if one of the downloads don't work. So I just checked that, and I also renamed the first frame so as to find it more easily in the future. I just named it Guitar GIF Frame 1, and I'm going to name all of the subsequent ones Guitar GIF Frame 2, etc, etc. So it's going to be more easy to find all the frames later on when I'm going to be uploading them to episode. and do the same thing for each and every one of your frames. I had 13 frames in my GIF, so I did that 13 times. Once you're done, you can open up Episode and click on the art catalog, which is where we're going to be uploading all of our frames. Once again, we are not going to use backgrounds, we are going to be using overlays. So click on Overlays and open up the section with the overlays that you've uploaded to your account. And then one by one, simply upload each and every one of your GIF frames to the website. And once you're done, you're going to end up with something a bit like this. So as I said before, my GIF had 13 frames, so here you can see all of my 13 overlays. There are two things which you really need to be careful with when you upload your PNGs. The first one being how you name them. I really recommend using names which are going to help you put them in the right order later on when we're going to be animating the overlay. So I just use guitar GIF 1, guitar GIF 2, guitar GIF 3, etc, etc. And the second thing is when you upload your PNG, do not resize them, okay? Because they all need to be the same size. So just upload it, leave it like it is, click on the box, give it a name, and click on upload. Now that all of your frames are uploaded as PNGs, it's time for the fun part, animating the overlay. So as I explained before, I'm going to use mine kind of like as a little animation in one of my warnings at the beginning of my episodes. So I'm just going to be using the background warning. This story uses sounds and music as a background for my GIF. But this is really up to you, whether you want to use it as a little animation or if you want to use it in the story. You can do whatever you want with this GIF, but I'm just showing you how I used it. One thing that I always do is always reset the zoom and add a little transition, because otherwise, I don't know, it just makes me uncomfortable. And now it's time to insert our overlays. So step one, we are going to be creating all of our overlays. So we're going to write at overlay guitar GIF 1, so your first one, create. Then on the second line, we're going to type in the same command, but we're going to use the second PNG, the second overlay. So overlay guitar GIF to create. So to go a bit faster, what I did here is I just copy pasted the first line and just copied it 12 other times for my 13 PNGs, and I just went back and changed all of the numbers because, as I said before, I just named them all the same but just changed the number at the end to make them go in the right order. Now that we've created all of our overlays, all of our frames, the second step is going to put them all on the same layer. That's very important. So I just typed in at overlay the first one, so guitar GIF 1, moves to layer 1. And then, as I did before for the creation of our overlays, I just copy and pasted it a total of 13 times for my 13 overlays, and I just went back and once again changed all the numbers at the end of my overlay names. That's why I put the same name for all of my overlays and just changed the number at the end. It's really a way to go much faster and save a lot of time. The next step is going to be a little more tricky. We are going to need to scale and shift our overlays to the same spot. To do that, I'm going to use the web previewer on the right. So I just inserted a random narrator line just to stop the script from going any further and to be able to scale and place my overlay. All right. Okay, I just realized I forgot to make the overlays actually appear on the screen. To do that, you need to type in at overlay guitar GIF 1 or the first one of your overlays, opacity 1 in 0, to make sure that it's actually going to show up on screen. That was a dumb mistake, sorry. So let's try this one more time. All right, here we go, we got it now. So now you're just going to click on show helpers and spot directing and change overlay, and that's going to let you change your overlay, whether it be the scale or the position of it. So just, make it go where you want it to go, scale it to how big you want it, and then down here it's going to show you the scale and the position of your overlay, and copy and paste that into your script. I always remove these weird numbers at the beginning of the GIF thing because I think it makes my script look messy, but you don't have to, it works perfectly fine with them. And I also remove all of the things that I had inserted to be able to scale and shift my overlay. Alright, so now the next step is going to be putting all of your overlays in the same position and at the same size. So we're going to start here with the position. To do this, we're just going to use what we just copy and pasted from the web previewer, and as I've already done for the layers and the creation of the overlays, I just copy and pasted the command for the first overlay 12 other times and just went back and changed the overlay name. And we're going to do the exact same thing that we just did here, and we're going to do it now for the scale of the overlays. So just copy and paste the first line to save some time, and just go back and change the overlay name every time. Alright, so now we're going to dive right into the most difficult part of this tutorial, which is actually animating the overlay. So to do this, we're going to be using the ampersand command. So you don't put an at, like we just did for all of our other commands, but you're going to be using the ampersand command. So ampersand overlay, and you're going to put in your first overlay's name. So in my case, it's guitar gif 1, and you're going to put its opacity to 1 in 0.1. 0.1 is something that refers to seconds, but you don't need to write in seconds, you just put in 0.1. Next, you're going to hit the return key on your keyboard. At the end, we're actually going to put everything on the same line, but for now, to make things more clear and more spaced, we're just going to do line after line. On this line, you're going to put the GIF frame that comes right before the first one. So in my case, my first frame is guitar gif 1, meaning that the frame before that, if we see things like a loop, is guitar gif 13. And you're going to put this overlay's opacity to 0 in 0. Next, we're going to do the same thing again, but this time using the second overlay, the second frame of your GIF. So it's going to be written like this, then overlay guitar gif 2, opacity 1 in 0.1, just like we did with the first frame. And we're going to do the same thing again. So when we use the first overlay, the first frame, we put in then overlay guitar gif 13, opacity 0 in 0, because that was the one that came right before. So now the one that comes right before the second frame is the first frame. So we're going to put in then overlay guitar gif 1, opacity 0 in 0. I'm just going to add a little space in here just to make it more clear that this is really a pattern that's going to repeat itself over and over again until we have covered all of our overlays. So once again, the pattern is going to repeat itself. We've already done the first frame and the second frame, so now we're going to do the third frame. Then overlay guitar gif 3, opacity 1 in 0.1. And the overlay that comes before guitar gif 3 is guitar gif 2. That's right. So then overlay guitar gif 2, opacity 0 in 0. As you can see, these three chunks are all the same. The only thing that changes is the overlays. In this next section, what I did basically is I copy pasted these two lines, which is a pattern, and I copy and pasted it up until the last of my overlays, which means until guitar gif 13. Once you get to your last overlay, you need to put in the overlay that comes right before that. So in my case, it's guitar gif 13, and the one right before is guitar gif 12, and then you are finished. You have gone through all of your overlays, and the next step is going to make all of this repeat itself an infinite number of times. To do so, we're going to write loop infinite times, with infinite being in capital letters. Alright, we're going to save that now. There's going to be some error messages, but we don't really care about that. It's because, as I said before, we're going to need to put all of this command into one line. So you can just start to remove all of the spaces before the then things. So you're going to take each then and remove the spaces so as to have only one line. And we are done. So I'm just going to add in a pause for a few seconds just to be able to show you the end result, and we're going to see right now what the end result is. And there we go. It worked super well. I'm really happy. If you liked this video and thought it was helpful, please check out my description box, subscribe, leave a like, and I will see you all next time for another tutorial. Bye bye!